Hey everybody, happy Friday to you. How are you guys doing today? It is the end of the work week and we have the weekend, so I am not going to hold you long tonight. I want to bring an update on what is going on the Deobra Redden case. This is the case of the man who attacked a judge. So he was there for his sentencing and he was upset with how the judge was speaking to him and how she informed him that you are going to go to jail. We're going to have to try something different because we tried to do different things where you were out, you were on probation, you went and received some counseling, and none of those things worked. So now jail time is for you today. And he attacked her. He viciously attacked the judge in the courtroom, and his sentencing was not able to be held that day. The next day was a Thursday when he was supposed to come back to court, and he didn't appear. So they have now sentenced him for the charges that he was before her, and now he also has new charges. So let's talk all about it. So if you go to the Hidden Horror Facebook page, there's two different links. The first link is from abcnews.com. It's dated January 8th, 2024. The title is Man Caught on Camera Attacking Las Vegas Judge Sentenced to 19 to 48 Months in Unrelated Case. The same judge accosted by a defendant in a Las Vegas courtroom last week sentenced her attacker Monday to up to 4 years in prison in an unrelated case. Deobra Redden leapt over the bench and attacked Clark County District Court Judge Mary Kay Holthus in her courtroom last week after trying to convince the judge he was turning around his violent past. Oh, that was just an act. It's hurting. The people are actors, okay? The sentence handed down Monday was in connection with a baseball bat attack on a person last year. Redding stood in court in shackles with a mask on his face and orange mitts on his hands, flanked by a group of jail officers. When I tell you they were not playing games with him, there were so many officers, I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4. They were not playing with him. He was not going to be able to move, to run. No. They had the net over his face, so if he chose to spit, it was not going anywhere. He was not going to be able to use his hands. They were covered in these orange mittens. They were prepared. Okay. His lawyer, Cesar Amaze, declined to comment outside the courtroom. In the attack last week, Reddy had to be wrestled off the judge by several court and jail officers and courtroom staff members, including some who were seen throwing punches. Now, this is not a joke. This is not funny. However, I must say that was not a wrestling match. That was a 4-on-1 beatdown. They were trying to pull Mr. Redding off of the judge. They were on top of him. They were pulling him. The one, which I think is the courtroom clerk, he was punching them. Boom, boom, boom. He had like a suit on. They had the deputies trying to take him. It was a struggle. I mean, it was on. It was on like Donkey Kong. So I'm making lightheart of it. Okay, this was not funny. It was a vicious attack. One courtroom marshal was hospitalized for treatment of a bleeding gash on his forehead and a dislocated shoulder. So some videos, they will show you the injuries. There's a gash. There's a deep cut in that marshal's head. He was really injured. I mean, thankfully, everybody is kind of walking away still whole, but it could have been much worse. The outcome could have been more dangerous, very scary for all involved, okay? Including Mr. Redding. They could have used deadly force against him because they really tried to restrain him And it wasn't working. Like 3, 4 people trying to remove him, pull him off. It just wasn't working. So thankfully, no one was seriously injured. Reddy launched himself at the judge just after asking for leniency and describing himself as a person who never stops trying to do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. It just felt like he snapped. It felt like he just experienced like quick anger. Somebody like him, I feel, is dangerous because you have to be patient. You have to be slow to anger. You know, you have to have self control, restrain yourself, even if you're angry or you're frustrated. You cannot do things like this. When it became clear Hostess was going to sentence him to prison time, the court martial moved to handcuff Reddy and take him into custody. That's when the defendant started yelling expletives, and charged forward as people in the courtroom audience began to scream. Redding vaulted a defense table, dove over the judge's bench, and landed atop Hostess. The video showed the judge falling back against the wall and an American flag toppling on them. Redding Superman over the judicial bench. Jerry Weezy, the court chief judge, said in describing the event. Hostess suffered injuries but was back to work the next day. Weezy credited court clerk Michael Lasso for acting quickly to protect the judge, saying he was the primary person who pulled Reddy off and probably helped her from having more severe injuries. Okay, so I want to show you, they have like a little video of them bringing him into the courtroom. Listen, they're not playing with him. I'm going to try to show you that. There may be, okay, see if I can get some volume in there. I can't hear the sound. I think we got the sound. There it is.
Mr. Almasi is here now.
How many y'all count? 1, 2, 3, 4,
All right, this is not for the
5,
continuation
6.
of Mr. Redden's sentencing. When we were last here, arguments were concluded and the court had begun to pronounce sentence when an incident occurred. And
They're not playing.
By Mr. Redden, preventing the court from completing sentencing. That is the sole purpose for today's hearing. Any other issues that may arise from the events that occurred last Wednesday will be handled at a future date by a different court. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions. I am making my calendar page from that day an exhibit for the court. As it existed the moment I walked in, prior to anything happening, nothing's been changed, indicating the sentence I intended to impose. Oh, I do it back for a moment. All right, that being said, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, and $250 indigent defense fee.
Look at the net on his face.
Months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. How much benefit time served does he have?
It's 0 days. He was on probation when he committed the offense and was revoked on probation to serve the jail time October 25th. That time it expired at about the time of the plea. So
0 days credit. Mr. Almasi, if that's different, let us know. We'll fix it.
They're showing control and power.
For the record, I just reflexively wrote 0 days credit. I'm sure everyone knows so that is in addition as of right now.
that's correct. The probation case number, just for the record, is C370775.
Thank you.
As you guys see, they were not playing with him. They were not playing with him. They had him there strictly um, to just give the sentencing. He didn't speak. They didn't really ask his attorney anything. They showed strength in numbers, power, and control. Um, he did it to himself. Unfortunately, people sometimes they learn the hard way, and they actually changed his charges. They upped them. According to Fox5Vegas.com, this article is dated January 9th, 2024. Is by Lisa Sturgis, and Fox 5 staff is titled Accused Judge Attacker Faces Battery, Attempted Murder Charges in Different Las Vegas Courtroom. So initially, they were saying that they were going to charge him with attacking a protected individual, and the judge would be a protected individual. Well, now they have changed. They have increased those charges. And now it's attempted murder. So he's looking at many, many years behind bars with these new charges. So let's get to it. Deobra Redden, the man shown in a now viral video leaping over the bench and attacking a Las Vegas judge, faced a different judge in a different courtroom on different charges, all stemming from that same incident. So he has multiple new charges. Okay. Prosecutors on Monday updated the charges they're filing against Redden to include attempted murder of an older person. In fact, he faced more than a dozen charges during his initial appearance Tuesday morning. That's 5 more charges than were filed at the time of the appearance he refused to attend last Thursday. Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson told Fox 5 last week that his office did plan to file additional charges against Redden. In the next few days, my office will be reviewing all of the reports to determine what charges to bring based on Mr. Redden's behavior in court, Wolfson said. We're reviewing all the reports, the witness statements, the extent of the injuries suffered by persons, certainly felony charges without a doubt. After that review, the full list of felony counts now include attempted murder against an older person, battery on a protected person resulting in substantial bodily harm against an older person, extortion, intimidating a public officer with threat of force, disregarding the safety of a person resulting in substantial bodily harm, battery by a probationary or parolee, unlawful act regarding fluid by a prisoner in confinement, battery on a protected person, 6 counts. Redden arrived for a sentencing hearing on Monday, surrounded by 7 law enforcement officers. So I could only count 6 that I could see. So it was actually 7. They were not playing with him. They said, try it now. Try it now. Try us. You're going to be down. He was also shackled and made to wear a spit guard and rubber gloves. On Tuesday, too, he arrived surrounded by officers. He was also shackled and wearing a medical type face mask. So we're going to continue to follow Mr. Redden's new charges. You want to know what's going to be the outcome, right? What's going to happen to him? We all have to make good choices. We have to think about things before we do them because every choice has consequences. And sometimes when something happens, you don't think you're going to be repaying this debt for so long. But some of our bad choices can lead us into a situation where we're stuck for a long time. We're trying to get back on some stable ground. We're trying to repair damage to something that's happened. We're trying to right a wrong. So always think, always be smart. Always think ahead. Always think about the outcome. What happens after you do this? Just like with all of these mass shootings, nobody's thinking about what happens afterwards. What is the effects of what you do? What is the end result? What is the response, the reaction? What does that look like? How much will you have to do? Who's going to be harmed? Who's going to suffer? Is someone going to be injured? Are you going to have to repay this debt? Are you going to have to be in a situation that you don't want to be in? And for a long time, you always have to think about that. It's very good to be a thinker in life, to make plans, and also think about what is this going to produce? It's going to be something negative. Is it going to be something that you can't change, you can't alter, you can't go back and fix? Something that's permanent, right? Is it a mistake that you're willing to suffer those consequences? You have to think about things. Every action, especially negative behavior, is going to have a response, and you're going to be held accountable and responsible for it. So you always have to think about that. So we will keep up with Mr. Redden's case. Right now, he's already going to prison for 19 to 48 months on the charges that he was there for the sentencing. Now he has all of these additional new charges, and it appears that he may be going to prison for a very long time since he tried to attack this judge. So we will keep you posted on this case. So thanks for checking out this video. Please remember, stay smart, stay safe, stay savvy. Have a good weekend. Bye, my friends. Bye, everybody.